Pixar is hitting us with some pretty awesome movies in recent years. We were last presented with Soul, that expanded on the origins of human personalities and the concept of determinism. Onward, that explored the importance of valuing what you have before it is gone, not just mourning what you've lost. And the heartwarming story of Coco, that brought the true meaning of the word family. This time the studio will bring a new story set in a beautiful seaside town on the Italian Riviera and tells the coming-of-age story about one young boy experiencing an unforgettable summer filled with gelato, pasta, and endless scooter rides. The new production, titled Luca, explores the adventures of a group of friends, but all the fun is threatened by a deeply held secret. The protagonists are, in fact, sea monsters from another world just below the water's surface. The movie was directed by Italian filmmaker ENRICO that wanted to show that friendships often set the course of who we want to become as adults, and refers it as being a very personal project since it is based in his childhood. So, let's dive into the video in order to fully understand the true origins of Luca. Andiamo! But first, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and ring the bell. Luca follows the unlikely friendship between two boys having the summer of their lives, getting up to all sorts of hijinks. But there's one problem. They both turn into sea monsters when they come into contact with water. The townspeople is very superstitious, so it is only natural that they believe in myths that heroes killed all the sea monsters. This town, Porto Rosso, happens to be full of people that despise these monsters, so the two boys will have to be very careful in keeping their secret. In its core, the movie is inspired, as said before, by CASAROSA's deeply personal story, taking a lot of references from his childhood in Genoa, Italy, with the title character based on himself and Alberto on his best friend of the same name. CASAROSA revealed, "My summers were spent on the beaches. I met my best friend when I was 11. I was really shy, and I found this troublemaker of a kid who had a completely different life. I wanted to make a movie about those kinds of friendships that help you grow up." The true inspiration for the sets came from the 50s and 60s summers in the Italian Riviera, with predominant references of the CINQUE TERRE, a golden age that feels timeless, with the music and designs also motivated by that period. Not all was based on CASAROSA's childhood. As mentioned previously, the two main characters are in fact sea monsters, mythological creatures originally taken from various sources, but mainly from the Italian version. The regional folklore has them on two accounts, one being seen as dangerous creatures capable of creating trouble and destruction, but there's also a version where these monsters exist to help the people of the town. This duality existed due to the fact that the sea was a mystery and that anything could be living down there, even if we've never seen it before. These kinds of beliefs were transported into the movie, making the life of these young boys/monsters so much harder. The author also stated that the sea monster is a metaphor for feeling different. The Mediterranean Sea, which surrounds Italy, has spawned many myths about sea monsters. While no specific legend directly influenced Luca, CASAROSA admits a few different ones helped guide the development of the story, especially visually. So, let's find out which creatures the protagonists were based on. Starting with a giant octopus and a pirate invasion. There's a legend in the minuscule town of TERRE, a place very similar to the villages of CINQUE TERRE. It tells that in 1660, a Saracen pirate named Gallo di Arenzano wanted to conquer the town. He chose a night of bad weather with a fog and a thunderstorm. In that time, a bell tower of St. George's Church was used to alarm the town in case of danger. But that night, a guardian on the bell tower was asleep. However, when the pirates started to disembark, the bell started ringing anyway, woke up the inhabitants that could defend the town. TERRE was saved, and the inhabitants discovered that it was a giant octopus that warned the population by climbing up the church tower and ringing the bells. Since that day, the octopus is the symbol of TERRE, only accessible by boat or on foot. San Fruttuoso di CAMOGLI is a pearl set between CAMOGLI and Portofino. It's half dream, half reality, a merging of history and legend. Such is the one that's the foundation of its abbey, which tells of 3 monks, a dragon, an angel, and a spring of clear water. Arriving from Portugal, the priests, Giustino and Porciopio of Tarragona, wanted to reach the coast of Liguria and bring the bones of San Fruttuoso, the Archbishop of Braga, a city in the north of Portugal and founder of monasteries in the same country and Spain. A strong tempest surprised them in the area of Portofino, and it was there that an angel of the Lord appeared to Giustino and promised to bring him to safety, and from which he would chase away the pestiferous dragon. The priest would then have to construct a church there among the rocks by a gushing spring. The place where the church was constructed and later serving as a monastery came to be called San Fruttuoso. The famous giant octopus with large tentacles, also known as KRAKEN, served as inspiration to create the film too, even though the director didn't specify in which circumstances. Just to be clear, the KRAKEN is not the same one as the giant octopus mentioned earlier. Here's a creature you've probably never heard of. A leviathan is a mythical creature with the form of a sea serpent. It is often referenced in several books of the Hebrew Bible, including Psalms, the book of Isaiah, and the book of Amos. The leviathan is seen as a primeval monster defeated by the god Baal-Hadad. It also figures in the Hebrew Bible as a metaphor for a powerful enemy. Some 19th century scholars pragmatically interpreted it as referring to large aquatic creatures, such as the crocodile. The word later came to be used as a term for great whale and for sea monsters in general. Some visual attributes of the characters might have been inspired directly by this creature in specific, as they are known as sea monsters just like Luca and Alberto. Finally, there were the Norse Selkies, where the creatures got a lot from. In Celtic and Norse mythology, Selkies are mythological beings capable of therianthropy. That means changing from seal to human form by shedding their skin. They are found in folktales and mythology, originating from the Northern Isles of Scotland. Even though they are not a regional tale or legend from Italy, the shape-shifting concept of the characters sure came from there. They got really deep into a lot of legends and myths. But not all was about myths and legends, but a good part of the production was influenced by some of the biggest classics in cinema, including films from Pixar's parent company Disney. One of these productions was The Little Mermaid, of course. In order to capture the idyllic universe CASAROSA intended to create, he studied thoroughly all of Studio Ghibli's animated movies, and also a lot of works from Hayao Miyazaki to capture the joy and youthfulness. One film in particular was 1992's Porco Rosso, as he even gave a similar name to the town in Luca, Porto Rosso. Other inspirations include Italian filmmakers like Fellini, whose movies are set in the 60s, just like Luca and future boy Conan. ENRICO also took a lot of films from like La Terra Trema, Stromboli, and Stand By Me. Wes Anderson's stop-motion movies also played a part in CASAROSA's artistic sensibilities. So, what did you think about the true origins of the movie? If you liked this origin, please don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, and like the video, cause there are much more coming. Till next time.